Alright, so this is a trend review of the Dow, the 5 minute chart. Basically, we were, price was in a downtrend. The market was in a downtrend. Down 180 minutes, 2,000 contracts, pulls back for 20 minutes on nothing. So this type of weak demand initiated this move down. There was one continuation trade here. But again, this is, I mean, if only if you're up this time. But the upthrust was right over here. And the thing is, it was an upthrust, a break, and a retest. So that retest was a pretty good trade. Like this is pretty classic. Upthrust and a downtrend. You wait for the break and the test. All right. Anyway, so it goes down, and then you had the signal to exit short. But this signal to exit short should also be looked at to see if there's a potential long opportunity, because demand is coming in. Demand starts coming in right around here. This 4 o'clock in the morning they started accumulating. All right, in the Dow. So from 4 o'clock, this this area, this up down area, you see 30 minutes down, 3,000 contracts, and then 30 minutes up in 2,000. This was the climax right here, where it reached a fairly oversold um, position, and then in that same amount of time the accumulation started, and it starts going sideways over here, and this where you see the white, red to white, and it held. That's when you could see that the trend is slowly turning. um, and then what happens is the rally occurred, so the accumulation was done. I think on a point figure this would be, you could really see this very easily. um, but anyway, the rally occurs here, goes up for 60 minutes, pulls back 5 minutes up on 10. There's no supply. Okay, you have no supply here, there's no supply here, and it rallies again. Okay, now what's interesting is that it pulls back, goes up, springs right there, and goes up. So once there's, let me draw it. You got a really nice spring right there that rallies, and tests. So you see that high, higher high test, and this is high probability. Okay, why is it high probability? Because demand is clearly stronger than supply. On the rally, 6,000 up, 2,000 down, 7,000 up. So the pullback here was only 2,000. That's, the ratio is 3 to 1, demand to supply. So that's good. So that right there. But again, like, this was at 9, between 9 and 9:25, around 9:15. So the test occurred after 9:30. So that's fine. Anyway, so it rallies, pulls back, rallies, pulls back. Here you kind of get concerned because this volume is heavy. Alright, relatively speaking. But again, like, it is heavy, but it does not take out support, it tests support. The volume here is heavy, and a lot, I see this a lot of times, and it kind of suckers people in, where there's going to be a strong wave. But that wave, all it does is it tests. Okay, you want to break, or you want to see the reaction back up, and wait for it and see if it's weak. So there was strength here in supply, but they stopped it right at support, and it was bought. This strong selling was bought. Okay, So this happens a lot. Um, many times you see high volume pullbacks, and you just have to know, like, is it bearish or bullish? If you look at the quality of the wave in terms of, you know, the volume, the distance, the price, etc., it does look bearish. But understand that you need to see the reactions after it, and you need to see where it went. It went to it was the first test of the low of this rally, which is support. And look what happened. Bang. So this is not that easy to do, because I think, technically speaking, you still require judgment, you know. Anyway, so it goes up for 60 minutes. Now, obviously, that's the climax. Pulls back on 50 minutes, and right here, if you're not, if you're still long, you should exit, because the situation's changing here. If, you know, you have 6,000 down, 1,000 up. Consider exiting. Okay, now exiting doesn't mean that the trend is going to change, but it does mean that it's very likely going to be at least a consolidation. There may be a change in trend, you know, like exit the long, just like exit the short. You know, you exit the short, and in this case, it initiated a trend, but it's not that easy to call a turning point. Okay, and what happens is, a lot of times you just have to be cognizant that it might just go sideways, but that sideways action could be corrective. It could be reaccumulation in this case. It could be distribution. It could be many things. So you can't just, like, okay, click the button, you know, just because the sellers got a little bit stronger than the buyers. Why? Because the trend is up, and there's pressure here. This is a support level. Why is it support level? Why? Because these guys sold, so they're screwed. So when it comes back here, they're gonna want to get out, right? So understand that even though sellers, they're selling and price is coming back, there's a lot of there's trap sellers that will cover their short right there, you know, and try to get out with a smaller loss, or maybe break even. So that's why when it goes to that area, dink, they cover. It rallies not that much, and then it goes up, and then it goes down and up and down, and then it rallies. Now, did you have any evidence that this move right here would occur in the day? There is no evidence other than this being low volume. Okay, this being low volume, and that that was the only, like, evidence. So if you were short, you know, over here, the reversal here, right there, you got to think like, oh, wait, something's not right, because it shouldn't just dry up. Selling shouldn't just dry up and reverse like that. Also, this type of behavior where reverses and then starts moving sideways, this is some type of hinge, and these types of hinges typically precede a move. Okay, so that tightening right here, when it starts going sideways like that, that this type of action you'll see many times precede typically a large move. And I think Wyckoff wrote about it. He said something like, you know, it was I think he called it a hinge, and I remember seeing one interpretation, which was that it could be the end of accumulation or distribution, or reaccumulation or redistribution. So anyway, so this is uh, this is the end of week, and you have a test to the top, and that's all, folks. Thank you. Have a good weekend. Bye.